Italy, Ferrari's reputation for its latest special edition mid-engine supercar may not, casually speaking, carry a similar performance implications as that surrounding its fondly remembered predecessors. Designations like 360 Challenge Stradale, 430 Scuderia, 458 Speciale, those were immediately recognizable because bad boy versions of Maranello's sublimely balanced, purist-centric modern-day weapons. Pista? The name might describe your neighbor's attitude whenever you rev its new twin-turbo, 3.9-liter V8 to its 8,000 revolutions per minute redline since you pull to your driveway past midnight or from it before 7 a.m. Perhaps it produces in mind some off-kilter tower only a few hours drive through the Italian carmaker's home base, or Friday night leftovers inside a back corner of one's fridge. On the other hand, devoted tifosi know Ferrari's official designation of that famous 1.862-mile test facility, exactly the same one abused throughout the years by the likes of Lauda and Villeneuve and Prost and Mansell and Schumacher and Räikkönen and Alonso and Vettel, is Pista di Frano. If you're one of these, afterward you also understand that adding the Pista moniker, track in Italian, whether it wasn't clear, to Ferrari's Alwachi Stellar 488 must mean you're facing something exceptional indeed. What's so, specially with this car? The attention-grabbing figure sit-stop dead center, 711 horsepower at 8,000 revolutions per minute. Yes, another person in the suddenly burgeoning 700-plus society has arrived. Here's to you personally, Porsche GT2 RS. McLaren 720S, and Corvette ZR1, this place also boasting 568 lb-ft of torque. For the record, that's 50 horsepower and 7 lb-ft in excess of the 488 GTB. The Pista can hit a launch-controlled 60 miles per hour by 50%, 0.8 seconds in 124 miles per hour and 7.6 returning to a 211 miles per hour top speed. We know, Giovanni, will the madness ever end? Pray not. Those numbers represent the best V8 within the marque's history. Ferrari says the Pista's engine has more that resembles the 488 Challenge race car's laptop or computer does while using GTBs. The power plant allegedly features greater than 50% new parts, including reshaped, stronger connecting rods now created from titanium in lieu of steel, stronger cylinder heads, carbon fiber instead of aluminum intake plenums, shorter intake runners, friction-reducing DL-coated piston pins, new valves now hollow around the intake as well as being the exhaust side and springs, and wider, longer, back pressure-reducing exhaust manifolds produced from Inconel, with 1 mm thick walls versus 3 to 4 mm within the GTB. The crankshaft and flywheel are lighter likewise, and Ferrari says your entire engine weighs 287 pounds. About 40 pounds lighter compared to the GTB's unit. Impressive stuff. Additional revisions of note add a rethink in the intake and cooling strategies. Like for the 488 Challenge, engineers relocated engine air intakes for the bodywork all around the rear spoiler, providing a ram effect. The Ferrari 308-inspired classic-style intakes for the car's flanks now only help cool the engine compartment in lieu of feed the monster that lies from it. This change increased airflow and allowed fitting a larger intercooler. The front-mounted radiators are reoriented in order that they angle toward the auto's rear instead of toward top as around the GTB, providing a 7% improvement in cooling efficiency, in line with Ferrari. However, beginning our test out with 4 laps of Frano, it's always nice to begin with your day with over 700 horsepower below your right-foot vehicle you've never driven, using a track you haven't tackled in lots of years. Ferrari doesn't oversell the purpose about horsepower. Not exactly, anyway, rather, commemorate a strong impression regarding how the car's brain manages the many power and torque with the latest version with the company's Awachi excellent side slip control. On this guy's using a lateral dynamics control system having a marketing-friendly tag that sounds so much like those ubiquitous products the thing is advertised inside the back of men's magazines, Ferrari Dynamic Enhancer. The simplest way to look at it is an additional stream of braking information the onboard driver network processes from the form of brake vectoring, side-to-side and front-rear. It only works while using steering wheel-located Manettino switch dialed for the traction control's court-off setting, which sounds a bit intimidating for racetrack runs straight out on the box. And to start with, for the lap or two, it can be. Before lighting off on the pit lane, certainly one of Ferrari's test drivers piloted us with a couple of laps, tail sliding all around us. "You are able to keep your foot down with the exits," he explained. "Use small corrections about the wheel and you'll do this, no issue." It is one thing to see and hear it from somebody else, quite another to implement it yourself so quickly as soon as you push the commencement button. As a result, the first few attempts are so cautious, the automobile remaining planted thanks on the tacky grip on the bespoke, Ferrari 20-inch Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires T-Watch Wear 180. Screw it. Hammer down about the next third-gear right-hand corner and, look out, the tail snaps away. Jolted with the quick breakaway, opposite lock is having a huge throttle lift. The rear comes home into line in the sloppy display of non-drifting, but it's clear there's something to the, so try again. Get the nose submitted, bend it to your apex, and unleash the energy without fear. It takes some mental adjustment, sort of eerie faith everything will remain rubber side down, but soon you're feeling the rear commence to slip in linear, not snappy, fashion. Keep your foot inside it and use small corrective steering inputs as expected to, and the automobile comes back consistent with ease. Not that our attempts with only 4 laps allotted were anywhere near what Ferrari's drivers demonstrated, not really close. But nevertheless an epiphany formed and confidence started build. With another 5 or 10 laps, we've without a doubt the experience, plus the slip angles, might have gotten merely better and greater. That's not important, though. The functional takeaway is the fact arguably nothing you've seen prior have non-professional drivers had the opportunity to wield this type of ominous number of rear-drive power so gracefully. From Frano, we headed into your surrounding mountains and onto twisting Toulon roads, a simultaneous exercise in laughter with the fun the Pista offers in scowls in the never-ending blockade of slow-moving lorries, Fiats, and also the like. In many ways the Pista was an excessive amount of car with the route, which never offered a way to probe top of the reaches with the tachometer and certainly not first and second gears. But the V8's punch above 5,000 revolutions per minute indicated the greatest 488 will easily pull as strong beyond 120 miles per hour mainly because it does under a 50, delivering vision-blurring use of the company's 700-plus horsepower in the same way we've experienced recently in Porsche's GT2 RS, McLaren's 720S, and Chevrolet's Corvette ZR1. It's a nimble dance partner also. Not that your regular 488 isn't, however the Pista's curb weight of 3,053 pounds is 199 pounds lighter, and plays a part in its reactive character as soon as you turn the tire. The steering itself is lovely, weighted perfectly and extremely quick without worrying about blinking fast, potentially destabilizing initial turn-in available on some of Ferraris of contemporary past. As we selected with the track, off when traction control, plus the dynamic enhancer started, allowing, when traffic cleared, hard braking into corners, accompanied by kicking the tail out some and coming out for the other side feeling like our hair was burning down. The Pista's carbon ceramic brakes are the world's best, making slowing the automobile almost as thrilling as accelerating it. Time and again on Ferrari we braked as late even as dared, later even, as well as the Brembos refused to protest, slowing us brutally rather than exhibiting a give-up in pressure even on the furthest reaches from the firm pedals path, something we can't say for each and every super race car of this ilk. It's a welcome ability that provides you a reassuring sense confidence. The small volume of pedal travel combines with repeatable and unfading stopping energy that serves up braking as precise just like any mortal could desire in the road car. It's yet another trait Ferrari engineered into this car, which in addition to 20% more downforce, now 529 pounds at 124 miles per hour, with a 2% improvement in drag, makes it insanely stable across a diverse spectrum of conditions. The latter is born in no small part to Ferrari's first road car using a Formula One style, airflow channeling stuck inside the front end with an aggressive rear diffuser similar to your one used within the 488 GT Le Mans endurance racer. If there's one minor sensory letdown, it's the fact, despite the newest exhaust manifolds in Ferrari chilling retuning the Pista's sound versus the GTB, you'll still never mistake this powertrain as definitely not turbocharged. This 488 whistles in lieu of screams over the air, that has a bass-heavy rumble echoing beneath prevalent intake and turbo noises. It's a nice sounding car in its own right, but not one, even when standing trackside at Ferrari as being the protest drivers rocketed past, that makes your hairs climb onto end. It is as much as 8 decibels louder within the cockpit, though, because of its new hardware, tuning, and fewer cabin sound deadening material. Conversely, we've got no complaints around the powertrain's responses, sharpened in the evening GTB using a 17% lowering of internal inertia to provide quicker revving, and through integrated turbo rev sensors much like those found around the 488 Challenge, which offer consistent, identical pressures across both cylinder banks, thereby more efficient power delivery. Both are features any self-respecting enthusiast, aside from Ferrarista, will mark upon their report on things to geek out about. With one last mountain run, each redline pull in the larger 488 Challenge style carbon fiber paddles sends a jolt using your body. A brand new race-attrived shift map strategy for Ferrari means a shotgun plus overtrick, plus it feels the same as it sounds. If you're clinging to your F430 inside a garage mostly as it has a manual gearbox, we understand, but if any double clutch, suit off one transmission can convert you, this is actually the one. In fact, relatively benign soundtrack aside, plus it's an enormous aside for traditional enthusiasts, this car may be the one with regards to mid-mounted, V8-powered Ferraris. For Enzo's sake, it could possibly lap Ferrari just 1.8 seconds slower compared to the apocalyptic LaFerrari. We're Pista, we can't afford to take it home around. 2019 Ferrari 488 Pista specifications. September 2018. Price: $345,300 base. Engine: 3.9 liters twin-turbo Doc 32-valve V8 711 HP at 8,000 revolutions per minute, 568 lb-ft at 3,000 revolutions per minute. Transmission: 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. Layout: 2-door, 2-passenger, mid-engine, RWD coupe. EPA mileage: NA LXWXH 181.3 by 77.8 by 47.5 inches, wheelbase 104.3 inches, weight 3,053 pounds, 060 miles per hour, 2.8 seconds, top speed 211 miles per hour.